Welcome to the January 20th edition of Litter Media Live. It is Tuesday, and we woke up to a lot of kids finding themselves getting a 2-hour delay this morning due to the winter cold that we have experienced. Temperatures were in the single digits yesterday, but to be honest with you, I didn't take a look at the thermometer to see what it was.
Cold?
I think it was 13 at the Ramey Ranch last night when I looked at it about, I think it was around 10:30. Thereabouts. So I don't know if it ever got into the single digits. Hi, I'm Dan Ramey. He's Aaron Glandon. And welcome to the program today, where we do our best to share beneficial news that you can use. And we were just talking about the map of Ohio just a moment ago, and a conversation I had with my Sunday school kids.
He's about to tell a bad joke.
No, I'm not going to tell the bad joke, because it's a good joke.
But you're going to tell it.
Maybe later.
Okay.
Maybe later. We'll save it for that. Right now we have important things to get to, such as our forecast, to let you know how things are shaping up. Again, it's been cold, but sunshiny outdoors. We will see that temperatures will reach up into the low 20s by this afternoon. The lows will fall back into the teens overnight. We did notice the thermometer outside our studio door says 28 degrees. And that's inside the warehouse here, outside the litter loft. There's a chance of snow Wednesday, temperature warming to the upper 30s, cloud cover in 36 on Thursday before cooling down again for the weekend. So if you go outdoors, this is that time of the year where you don't put your tongue on the flagpole.
No.
You don't want to do anything like that.
Did you ever do that?
I've never done it. My brother, Mike, this is before I came along, because I came with the new house when they moved out of Columbus. But back during the day in Columbus, when my siblings were growing up and doing things that siblings do, I guess it was a very hot day in July. They had just come home from church, and my brother Mike ran into the freezer and stuck his tongue to, remember those ice trays that were metal and you could pull the thing, and
yeah.
Apparently that got stuck to his tongue.
I've got my tongue stuck on a popsicle before, but that's it.
A popsicle?
Mm-hmm.
How do you get your tongue stuck on a popsicle?
It's a really cold popsicle. And I got stuck. I had to run hot water under it to get my tongue unattached. Right? Yeah.
Did this happen when you were in college? Was this a college type of experiment?
I was in middle school or high school. But I don't remember exactly.
Perhaps there's some teachers at Adina going, remember the Aaron Glandon experience?
It didn't happen at school.
Didn't happen at school?
No.
Oh, you were just at that age.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Coming up in a moment, we'll get you caught up to date with what's making news. But first, let's tell you about...
Pain was interfering with Tiffany's active lifestyle. Same-day hip replacement at the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute got her back to the community she calls home. At Adina, we do what we love, so you can too.
The Pike County Career and Technology Center provides hands-on, skilled trades training with engaging curriculums and endless possibilities. From automotive technology, carpentry, business management, to culinary arts and interactive media. From electricity, welding, HVAC, engineering, and medical technology, to pre-nursing, basic food service, and public safety. We're preparing our youth for America's workforce through today's technology. To learn more about Pike County CTC, visit pikectc.org. Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
Tecumseh. Fascinating. Captivating. Mesmerizing. Tecumseh.
Tecumseh. Don't forget, you can go to our website, littermedia.com, and that's where you can find a lot of the information we're sharing with you today. But we also share much of it on our Facebook and X pages. But if you want to listen to us on Spotify, Litter Media Radio, all that stuff is available in the upper right-hand corner at our central hub. That is littermedia.com.
The U.S. Department of Energy will be conducting audible testing of the port's public warning system next week, Wednesday and Thursday between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. This test will include the actual activation and sounding of the 6 exterior pole-mounted sirens that surround the site down in Piketon. A public address announcement will be made over each siren speaker prior to an activation of the siren to let area residents know this is a test. In the event of a real emergency, announcements will be made over the plant public address and radio systems.
I know it, the paper mill, when it was fully operational, I would hear their warning systems at, I think they would test them the first day of the month, and there was an audible voice that came on there as well. And now, to be honest with you, since the plant shut down, I can't say that I've heard that, so I don't know if they're continuing it in any fashion. But we do know that the first day of the month, they always test the tornado sirens here in town. But this is for the warning system down at the A plant in Piketon. Ohio's Small Town Museum is based just up the road in Asheville. One of the icons of the Asheville history is the traffic light that you see right there on the water tower, built in the 1930s. It was operational until 1982. Well, the museum shared a post with a video conducted by the Ohio Department of Transportation from the 1990s. I think it was around 1996, after the light had been refurbished. It's the world's oldest traffic light. And there you're seeing the inner workings of the traffic light, which was put together by Mr. Bohr back in the 1900s, 1930s. I was astonished to find out that in between each one of these different lenses you see here, you've got the celluloid there for the red and for the green. There are bicycle spokes that were used for the outer edges of that.
Interesting.
To connect the top and the bottom. And the gentleman who's talking in the video here, he's sharing that is just a string that is holding it down. It's a string inside of an aluminum sheath that it was built on. It's got a cog underneath that makes it go around. And that little dial that you see there, that's how you would know, okay, it's red. There's no yellow. So once the dial gets to a certain point, down at the bottom, if I remember correctly, it will slide to the green. And the cool thing about this was it's at the intersection of Long Street and Main Street. Long Street dead ends into the U.S. Post Office. So technically, unless you're at the post office, there were east and west traffic on Main Street and only the south traffic from North Long Street that was being controlled by this traffic light.
Very
Isn't that
fascinating.
incredible?
Yeah.
But this was a mainstay when I was a kid, and it was fully operational until 4 years after I got my license. So I did have the opportunity to have to sit and wait on that light as an actual driver as well. Now, Ohio Small Town Museum, located in Asheville, is just up the street, and that's where you'll find this traffic light. Now, it's, as we mentioned, it's been decommissioned, but it is in the museum itself.
Yeah.
So if you want to see it, the museum is open Tuesdays from 5 until 8 p.m., so you can go in later this evening. It's free admission. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, they're open from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Don't wait till the weekend because they're closed Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Do you know if the light still works? If that video is from the 90s, we know it worked then.
We know it, yeah. When I was there last, Mike Smith and I made a trip up there during the 4th of July. And when I was in the museum, I don't think they had it turned on.
Okay.
So that doesn't mean that it doesn't. I'm just saying that when we were there, it was not operational.
Yeah. Ask them about it when you get there.
Yes, precisely. If you want to find out more about the Ohio Small Town Museum, just log on to their website. It's ohiosmalltownmuseum.org.
Easy to remember. Kenworth wants to make the W900 an official Lego kit. They have a link on their Facebook page where you can vote for their Lego ideas submission that includes a realistic long nose hood and a signature W900 grill, opening doors and a hood that opens to reveal a Cat C15 engine, a functional fifth wheel, and authentic lighting, mirrors, and roof marker details. Look at that.
Now, I have sat down with Miss Amelia when we put together her Legos, and just to put a cat together, it took me 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours. Now, think about at Kenworth, the assembly line, they can put close to 200 of these together in a day.
When I worked at Kenworth, I remember it being about 6 minutes from truck to truck, and they go faster now than when I worked there.
Right. So here's my point. Bring that back up again there. You could probably, in the time it takes to assemble this, actual trucks could be built perhaps as many as 200 before you could get that assembled through Legos.
But
it is really cool, though.
There's more people building the truck.
That's true. That's true. And it's continually moving. Yeah. And so if you've never been inside for a tour of the Kenworth Truck Company, it's fascinating that they can make those things happen. But you were there as an actual paid employee.
I was.
That was and now you see where he is today.
Yep.
It's led him right to this job.
Manual labor wasn't for me.
It's still not.
Those fuel tanks are
I will
too
testify that it is still not for him. The Chillicothe Paints are currently accepting resumes for interested applicants in their summer internship.
Oh, I'm going to apply for this now.
Paints, well, that'd be great. Get out there and you take photos, and we'll have constantly information on the Chillicothe.
No, I'm not going to give them to you unless you buy them from me.
Paints interns get a great look inside the world of baseball and participate in hands-on experiences like ticketing, game presentations, stadium operations, dealing with fans, and more. Interns receive a stipend, and an applicant must live within 45 minutes of Chillicothe. So if you're interested, just forward your resume to info@chillicothepaints.com. That's the look of the news.
All right.
Coming up in a moment, sports. There was something we let slide past us yesterday.
Big news that we just completely forgot about.
And I'm texting with him, and I said, do you know, we actually forgot. How did we miss this? And your response was one word.
I said 3 words.
Oh, that's right.
I said, we are morons.
There you go. Yes. And so I kind of labeled us the two stooges.
Yes.
For not knowing.
That's us.
If Mo would have been around, we'd have been okay. I think he would have at least bopped us in the head to remind us there was a national championship won last night. Details coming up in just a moment here on Litter Media. Brought to you in part by Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor when it comes to the conditions in your home environment or your business environment, or maybe you are putting in a big giant industrial park. Accurate is the one to contact. They can take care of your heating, your cooling, and your plumbing. Click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website. It takes you right to their website, AccurateHVAC.com.
Wherever you are there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing. Download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
Now that's one fast mower. Take command of your lawn with Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
It's time for sports, and that means we're going to start off by taking a look at last night's Haynes Total Healthcare Center high school scoreboard. In men's basketball last night, London took Fairfield Union 60-47, and that was a non-conference game. In the MSL Cardinal, Fairfield Christian beat Fisher Catholic 49-39. In girls basketball non-conference, Harvest Prep, Southeastern, McLean, South Webster, Portsmouth West were all winners. Easton Pike beat Portsmouth Clay 59-51. Lucasville Valley over Green 51-43. Tulsa beat Portsmouth Notre Dame 50-37. South Gallia, Marion Harding, Alexander, Belpre, Marietta, and Sheridan also all winners. In the OVC, it was Dawson Bryant taking Ironton 43-23, and in the SOC 3, Waverly beat Wheelersburg 44-41.
Tonight, we will have high school basketball for you from Logan Elm, where the Circleville Tigers are sitting on top of the Mid-State League Buckeye Division, but Logan Elm is one game behind them. The reason that is they lost that game on December 6th, 63-47 in the first meeting between the two clubs. The Braves have since won 10 straight. Can they make it 11 tonight and create a two-way tie for first place? Find out this evening. If you can't be there in person, we'll have it for you starting about 5:50. There's no JV game tonight, so it starts with the varsity contest only at 6 p.m. So make sure you join us for that. Waverly's Paige O'Brien crossed to 1,000-point milestone over the weekend. She's one of our, was it 2 years ago, I think was the first time she was one of our Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Players of the Week and presented by Homeland Credit Union. Well, there she is now as a senior on the basketball team that picked up a win down at Wheelersburg last night as well. So Tigers got it cranking. Congratulations.
Yes. Congratulations all around. Also, congratulations to the Indiana Hoosiers. They're atop the college football world after beating Miami 27-21 for the national championship last night. The Big Ten has won the last three championships. That's Michigan, Ohio State, and now Indiana.
How about that?
How about
so
that?
So much for your SEC.
You about said SVC.
I almost did.
That'd be something.
Well, the SVC has the U as well.
Yeah.
So they don't have an IU, though.
Nope. I don't know what's supposed to be in that spot that I accidentally clicked. We'll never know.
We'll never
The
know.
Cleveland Cavaliers, they fell last night to the Oklahoma City Thunder. That was a 136-104 finish. The Cavs are going to travel to Charlotte on Wednesday. Hopefully fix that mistake that they had last night.
Well, see, that was an afternoon game. I think they started at like 3 o'clock.
Oh,
so
well,
that was kind of an odd start time for them. So maybe that's why.
Maybe. Is tomorrow a night game?
Yes.
Well, then maybe they'll get their groove back. The Blue Jackets are back home on the ice tonight with Ottawa. They're looking for their 5th straight win. Let's get it done tonight, Blue Jackets. That's sports.
They've got their group back. No question there.
Yeah.
They and Stella and everybody else. All right, coming up in a moment, this date in history. Stand by for that. Plus, it's National Whatever Day. Details are coming up.
Yeah. But first, we're going to tell you about Litter Quality Propane. There's no bill when there's a fill. Contact Litter Quality Propane today about our metered gas service at litterpropane.com.
Tecumseh. Fascinating. Captivating. Mesmerizing. Tecumseh.
At Tomlinson Insurance, we've been protecting families, farms, and businesses since 1853. From auto, home, farm, life, or health, we tailor coverage that fits your world with multiple carriers to meet your insurance needs. Real people, real service, local agents who can answer the phone and care when it matters most. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call or stop by today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Whenever I first applied for the ArchWiz opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
It is time for the educational portion of our program, This Date in History, 1892, just a year after the game was invented by Dr. James Naismith. The first game of basketball is played at the YMCA in Springfield, Massachusetts, which is now Springfield College, which is also, if I'm not mistaken, where the National Basketball Hall of Fame is.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. Naismith was asked in December of 1891 to create a game to keep men physically fit during the winter, since football and baseball existed for the fall and summer months. Now 130 plus years later, it's a pretty popular ball game. Basketball.
Basketball.
Jones. Oh, you all right?
I dropped it. I dropped it and it slid, so we'll take it.
That's called a turnover right there in the game of basketball.
I didn't play basketball, so.
I can see why. No, that's not part of the game, holding signs, right?
No.
Now, if you were the guy that's on the sideline for football when they hold up the different player colors and things like that, you'd have been fired, right?
I'm the guy in the dugout with the pots and pans clang together.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's me.
But not in Philadelphia.
Oh.
Go to our show from yesterday to learn more about that.
We also have national days to tell you about, and this one comes to us from the Pickaway County Soil and Water Conservation District. They'd like to share a happy National Cheese Lovers Day. Cheese is delicious, but did you know that sustainable farming matters for every bite? Healthy soil grows better feed for dairy cows, clean water ensures safe milk production, and conservation practices reduce greenhouse gases from farms.
And did you know that Ohio is the #1 producer of Swiss cheese?
Not my favorite cheese, but it's a good cheese.
I like Swiss cheese.
I like provolone. I like blue cheese.
Not big on blue cheese.
Brie is good.
But cottage cheese is one of the top 5 that's
like
created
cheese
here in Ohio.
It's not my favorite.
So learned a little bit about that this morning. And now the Guggenbergs up in around, where are they? Millersburg, West Holmes, that area, Northwest Ohio. I've had the opportunity to meet some of the family because of the pageants that I have emceed, because they've been judges, because they're part of the Ohio Swiss Festival up in Millersburg. So, cheese. We like it. What other national day is it?
It's also Butter Crunch Day and Disc Jockey Day.
Disc jockey.
You might know something about that.
I literally was a disc jockey. This was back before CDs came along, true vinyl. And you would set it on the record player. You'd cue it up, ready to go. And then you would tweak the magic twanger that they used to say on the radio back in the days and make that thing go around and around. And next thing you know, people are bopping and playing, dancing and everything, playing to the music that we were playing on radio. For me, it was towards the end of the vinyl era because CDs were just around the corner.
Yeah.
And so I started in 1980 on my 18th birthday. It was my first night on the air. I was thinking about Earl Bailey today. Earl was my instructor for the American School of Broadcasting. And many of you watch Channel 28 News, Fox News. Earl Bailey was the first news anchor that used to do the Fox 28 Express. They would do little drop-ins with news, and he was the guy standing there and he'd say, "I'm Earl Bailey, Fox 28 Express." Back in the day.
Back in the day.
And now look what it is today. Channel 6 has taken over, and they do everything they need to do to tell you about the news.
Yeah.
And sometimes they tell it several times. If you watch a local news program coming out of Columbus or anywhere anymore, it seems like weather is the main thing. I mean, they'll lead off with a tease for what the weather is. They'll come back, give the weather person time to focus on the weather, and then they'll come back in before and they'll say it again.
Yeah.
Just to get you out the door with it.
Doesn't make sense to me because you could just open a window and know what the weather is.
That's true. And it's all available on your smartphone anymore in that respect. But that's why we start off with it, because one day the boss says, "What do you think about adding weather into what you do?" That's why we do it.
And now we do it.
We do it to inform you.
So when you were a disc jockey, how many records did you have stacked on top of each other that you would play from?
None.
You didn't stack them?
Didn't stack them. Do you mean like on a record player where you could have it stacked and have it down? It didn't work that way.
Okay.
No. We usually would have two turntables in the studio. In some instances, you would have a turntable here and a turntable here, and you were kind of like sitting in between it all, so you could, go from left to right. But I had many others where it was here and here. There were things where we could cue up the song, and then you could hold on to the record. So you would take your hand, you'd hold on to with probably the tip of your finger, hold on to the edge of the record while it was spinning, the turntable, because the turntable had felt underneath of it. And that allowed you to hang on to it, and then when you're ready to let it play, you could just lift your finger off of it. Now, if you had sticky fingers, it was a problem.
Right.
If you were eating Cheetos in the studio, don't touch the records.
Well, what if you had the Rolling Stones in there? Sticky fingers.
Gotcha. You got to think about that one.
Yeah.
But all of the records at the time were kept in these sleeves. We had like a cardboard sleeve. So, and you had current songs. So those were your top 10 songs. You had songs that would be considered a recurrent. So this is a song that was a hit just like 3 weeks ago, but it's fallen in the charts. And then you would have a B rotation of songs, which were climbing, but they weren't part of the top 10 yet. And then you would have C, and C were the new songs coming up. And on a clock type wheel, you would say, okay, we want your first song to be an oldie. Then we want the next one to be an A song, and then go to a B song. But then follow that up with a recurrent. And on that pie chart going all the way around, it would tell you where to put the commercials in and all too.
You know, you sound like my college professor right now.
Is that right?
Yeah. Because I took like 4 radio classes at school.
Yeah.
So I all these things are sounding very familiar. I know the clock you're talking about. I've seen it many times.
Did they explain to you about the magnetism of the audio tape?
I'm sure that Dr. Mark Perry did explain that to me, but I'm sure that I don't recall.
I slept through that class. Cassette tapes were very big when I was getting into broadcasting. And so what we had to learn at that time was how to edit those tapes. So you would have a splicing block, you'd have a razor blade and a wax pencil, and you would mark where it was you wanted to have. Let's say I made a mistake reading the news. Imagine that. And so I would stop where I flubbed, I would mark it, and then go to the next place where I pick up, mark that, and then cut the tape out, and then put tape on it to put it back together again. Having done that, you can make edits, and it'll all sound fine. However, you had to learn about the tape itself, because on the tape, which is kind of like I'm trying to think of the right word for it. Are you falling asleep?
No, I'm good.
On the tape, it was brown, and on that was iron oxide particles, and they were magnetically set there. So on your record machine, you would have an erase head, you would have the record head, and then the playback head. And what would happen was, when the tape goes across those heads, it would erase it, then hit record, and what we're saying through a microphone, those audio waves pushed the iron oxide particles into different waveforms, and then they were read by the playback head. That's how all that worked.
Yeah.
Today, it's all digital, so you can see the waveforms. You can see where you can make edits and, like, take a breath out.
And it's much easier.
It is much easier, believe me. There was a time you had to be a specialist to do it.
Yeah.
I remember my program director we had at Sunny 95, he said when I was at Penn State in college, he said my professor comes in, has this reel-to-reel tape, and he unspun it all off of the reel, took a pair of scissors, cut through it, and said, here, put it back together. Mm. Talk about Legos?
Yeah.
Try and do that and make it sound right. Ugh. So, yeah. Oh, the radio days. There was a lot to go into there. It was a loaded question you asked.
My bad.
Playing records. Yeah.
I think my question was, how many records did you have stacked? Which really is not a loaded question. That's a question that can be answered with one word.
And I think I did. 0. None. Well, see, all my years in talk radio,
you fill space.
You fill space, yes. And you had to be prepared to give a long answer in some situations. But
you ask Dan a question on the street. If you see him, be ready for a 5-minute answer.
There is another term that has been used during my DJ days, and that was called word economy. So if you have a 16-second bed to start the song, you said what you needed to say in a certain amount of moments so that you could, and as few syllables as possible to get to the point. And next thing you know, you're out. Yep. But you leave it as a teaser to keep people listening so that they know what's coming up. Or it's like, oh man, I can't get out of the car yet because he's gonna talk about the history of that song. You know, we don't have that anymore.
Back selling and front selling.
Because now we have smartphones that do, it's your carry along radio.
Yeah,
you know,
Shazam
carry along with you, which we hope you use tonight for Litter Media Radio.
And it all ties back together, folks.
Let's splice this together. And we'll be on the radio for you tonight. Litter Media Radio, available on our website. That's littermedia.com. Or you can scan that QR code right there, and it'll take you to the Live 360 app. And that way you can listen as well on your smartphone. But if you go to littermedia.com, you'll find a radio player right there on our website. So I'll be describing the location from Logan Elm and the circumstance happening. If they have me sitting where I was during the Fairfield Union game, I'll be right smack dab in the middle of all the Circleville fans. So take it easy because I'm wearing my Taze Valley colors today, the golden and blue. So behave. That's it for the program. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. I promise I won't say another word until we get to Logan Elm tonight.